Let's find out how it plays.
There we go. Game number 4 about to start. One transition scene away. And in we go. We start with MarineLorD in the color red playing as the Abbasid Dynasty here on Lipany. Now, this is not the normal Lipany that you see in your ranked escapades. This is EGC Lipany. It's a little bit of a more balanced map generation. Wow. On the opposite side, Luciferon 7 in the color yellow playing as the Ruse here, starting off with the typical Ruse build, going with 4 villagers on that high trade house in order to get that up really, really quickly, go for that second scout from it, except like instead of going for it from the TC, you make it from the hunting cabin. At the same time, MarineLorD, he's already got a second scout out from the TC, and he's out on his deer, already caught both of his deer spawns. Luciferon gonna try and get some of that bounty for himself now. Both players are going to be competing for who can get the deer kills here.
There's a really finite timing there, isn't there? Where you can trigger the sound animation of an attack that won't fire. I love how players have gotten so good at doing that to try and bait their opponent into automatically responding.
Yeah. It looks like MarineLorD Scout will have to retreat here for the moment. Just a little bit of a delay there on the early attack animation. Looks like they're just now going to split.
Fine, you take those, I'll take these, okay?
Let's not both lose our scouts here early on. An agreement was made between the players.
Luciferon is going for a third scout here. So he's getting a decent amount off the map. Has got into wheelbarrow already. Looking from his position here, I think it should be like, what, 2.5 bounty stacks in total of deer? Now he just needs to hunt down the wolves.
Yeah, definitely has to go for the wolves as many as possible here. But one of his scouts already low HP. It's going to make it hard for him to really get a lot of these wolves because every single wolf is going to get that scout lower and lower in HP. We'll have to be careful about that. There's a lot of sheep there to the left side of that scout. MarineLorD Scout nearby there as well. And there we go. Luciferon's going to have to kite a little bit with that wolf, with the scout being on low HP. High HP scout actually be chasing the one here from MarineLorD now. And MarineLorD is going to be able to get a lot of value here from that.
Yeah, there it is. Commando again, activated. Modern Warfare 2 making a return. And sadly for MarineLorD, he sees that there are 2 wolves here. He can't stay around to do anything about it.
Yeah, it's going to be impossible for him to deny that. Instead, chooses to maybe find some sheep around the backside of Luciferon's base. Speaking of sheep, the scouts from Luciferon so far, they haven't returned with any sheep to his base. And sometimes that becomes really problematic for Ruse when they potentially run out of sheep under the base. Also, what we're seeing right now is Luciferon, he doesn't quite have the gold that he's going to need for his age up. It's going to be really close. He's getting the wolf there right now. Actually, some of his villagers already idling under his TC because he doesn't have enough sheep remaining there. 8 gold short right now. Oh, he didn't find the deer camp there. Oh, that's huge.
What?
That could have gotten him up there. And now MarineLorD is going to be going up there with the military wing. Kremlin coming up from Luciferon. And I'm not sure about that Kremlin position, but that could have been a little bit further forward. What do you think?
I think he could have shifted away from the base, but he's maybe paranoid about exposing the left side past that wood line. It is close enough to defend the stone, which is the key thing you're always looking for here. But that, I mean, that's vicious to think about. Like, he gets the tech up barely, but I mean, this is definitely not, it doesn't feel like even a 200 bounty game at this rate.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. MarineLorD getting a lot of hunting out there. Also taking a lot of the sheep here from Luciferon's side of the map. And I'm not sure how this sheep situation right now is for Luciferon because he doesn't have any villagers on food and he's got less than 50 food right now in the bank. He can't make villagers. Okay, there it is. More sheep coming in now. Not a lot, but definitely desperately needed for him right now.
He feels like the pressure is on, right? It's slip and slide here. MarineLorD has just been so clean. He went for the second scout, which, you know, historically would be unorthodox for the Abbasids, but has become more popular recently. He gets that value. And look at the follow-up. Military wing is on the way. We've seen this a lot today. We've seen the potency that it can provide. I think with the way this is set up, and to the point you brought up earlier about the Kremlin placement, there are ways that MarineLorD can easily get value out of this.
Yeah, exactly. Now, MarineLorD is also getting the wheelbarrow upgrade behind that. Oh, God. Nah, that's not a mistake that MarineLorD would make, donating the sheep there.
No. He's flaunting them. This is the signs of a champion who is confident. He's like, look at all these sheep right now. Oh, I'm going to go open my own kebab store. Bye.
Militia immediately being called here now for Luciferon. Now H-Up did finish up for MarineLorD, gets his 4 free units, so looking good right now in the military department for him. Is going to easily be able to deal with these militia, with the archers that he gets for free, and now MarineLorD is going to be going out for the stones, so second TC is going to be in the works for him.
And that's the thing, even if he doesn't now get aggressive with the military wing benefits of the double arch, double spears, this will allow him to posture for that TC drop on the front deer, which is vital for a lot of these Abbasid players, right? It's either that or you need to find a berry patch next to a second resource somewhere else.
What do you think, KP? Is it time for? I mean, it hasn't been too great here right now for Luciferon when it comes to the bounty, but I think it's time for us to play a little bit of a guessing game here. Bet the bounty right now. What do you think? How much bounty do you think Luciferon has right now in the game?
What was it? Wilbur's 150, right? I don't remember that right. I think he got like just over 200, maybe like 210, maybe.
I'm gonna guess a little bit lower than that. I'm guessing 180 because he didn't get that.
Cabins, right?
Yeah. It's 190.
Ooh. We're both pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah. So both really. That's just margin of error right there.
Exactly. Like we're close enough. We're very analytical, very smart at the game. I don't know if you know this, Crackedy, but I stay unranked, which means technically my rank is unlimited.
That's a smart way to look at it.
Yeah, you can't lose if you don't play. I don't know if you guys, don't know if you know this.
Is the boar attacking the TC?
Wait.
The villagers? No, it's
no. He's just rubbing up against it. He's like a very oversized, happy cat who's looking for a stroke.
Definitely hit it. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Crackedy, but I've actually got 100% win rate against MarineLorD. No, sorry, wow, infinite win rate because I haven't won or lost. So read that how you will.
I don't want to say anything, but in Season 4, against one of MarineLorD's accounts, I have a 100% win rate. Granted, it was only one game, but that counts.
That counts. That's the classic, right? Win once and retire.
Yep.
Some players never get that. They get one loss, and they're like the person who's got a gambling problem at the table. Okay, just one more, baby. Just one more.
We're not counting the other accounts from MarineLorD.
No, we're not. And MarineLorD's that type of player that a lot of people have that just one more, baby, just one more feel. I've seen plenty of stats where he absolutely eviscerates some of the best performers in this game, like 80% plus win rates overall across all tournaments. There's a reason that a lot of people refer to MarineLorD as the GOAT. Of course, BC has been taking the limelight when it comes to tournament performances, but for those who haven't been tuning in on today, BC won't get the opportunity to do that here in the Elite Classic. He was eliminated earlier by B, but MarineLorD, he is looking well postured to make his way through to a Grand Slam showdown with B tomorrow.
Yeah, speaking of that, though, I mean, speaking of, like, stats between players, he said that MarineLorD has, like, really great stats against some of the greatest players in Age of Empires 4. So does B. I think B has a really good win rate against MarineLorD, actually.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah,
I'd be curious how big...
overall. I think it's like 5-2 for stats-wise for B at the moment.
That could be
between him and MarineLorD.
If we get to it, we'll have to see. I think Luciferon fans are still holding their breath, hoping. MarineLorD is looking to make it uncomfortable, though. Luciferon, of course, did get a second TC earlier, but you already see MarineLorD now going up for his third. Something that Luciferon will not match. Typically, Ruse players rarely, at the moment, are going for that third TC, especially when they're up against an eco civ.
Yeah, exactly. I think Luciferon definitely the player now to put on the aggression, just pump out more and more units, and especially with a civilization like Ruse, you can mass up a lot of archers really quickly. You do have that added wood income from your influence with the Wind Fortress that the Kremlin is, and it's such a large radius around the Kremlin that usually you get like even your... Actually, let's take a look at the base of Luciferon. Is his wood line in the influence of the Kremlin? He built it on the opposite side of his TC. It should be.
I think he branched in with a lumber camp. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks to be. Yeah. That's really important. Gets 20% bonus wood there, and that's quite a lot. 20% bonus wood, you can do a lot with that, and that's not just wood that you gather faster, it's wood that you pull out of thin air.
And a cool thing for optimizing, if you have to put the Kremlin far away from your primary wood line, it kind of gets overlooked a lot of the time. I was surprised by how many players didn't know this. Your TC can spread the influence. So if you edge your TC, you can then bridge in to your lumber line via a lumber camp. It's a nice optimal way to save yourself having to go through a wooden fortress.
Here we go. Now the Archer Rangers being built by LucifroN out here on the map. Also good gold income right now. So we're going to be seeing the typical composition here from the Ruse being the Knight Archer composition. Lots of Knights already out for LucifroN. Got a couple more in the queue right now as well. Good Knight numbers here from him. If he gets a good timing here on that TC, which is quite exposed. It's so far away from the main base from MarineLorD. Means that he's not going to be able to spread the influence from the House of Wisdom towards it. So not going to have any additional burn armor resistance.
MarineLorD trying to fix the greedy nature of what he's done here by getting a few more spearmen in the mixer. But Knights, for the time being, will get their first blood. The first villager of the game does die. Luciferon, of course, there's that Knight count. You can already see how quick this is going to escalate. So MarineLorD, how many Raxes? I think he must be at least 2, right?
He should be. He should definitely be at least 2 racks. LC will never be able to outproduce the Knights from Luciferon. Looks like it's only 1 barracks and 3 archery range. That's a lot of archery ranges. I guess he feels like he needs like the critical mass of archers. Now we've seen it time and time again. Because archers attack from range and they aren't afflicted by bad pathing behavior or anything like that, it is quite a bit easier to win battles with mass archers than with mass infantry or like mass melee units. So getting up to numbers and getting like 60 archers out on the field in some situations feels better than having like 20 knights.
I actually prefer what MarineLorD's doing here, right? Because if you're mentioning these more spearmen potentially because the knights, we then talk about the archers. The thing that allows him to get away with this many spears is that camel archer. A camel archer that will not be easy to snipe because of the way he can position. He doesn't need to really be in the fight, right? He can essentially sit behind the archer line, and when the knights arrive, you mitigate a lot of their damage.
Yeah, 20% damage reduction is huge. Absolutely massive there. You consider that knights have a base damage of 19, 20% damage reduction. That's like almost 4 damage reduced, and yeah, it does make a huge difference. And as you said, you don't need to fight with the camel archer. The radius actually is quite large, so you can just keep it in the back line.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is in this situation, it kind of starts to make you wish you had Horsemen instead, because of course Horsemen, bonus damage doesn't get affected by that aura of the camels. So it's more like a 10% damage reduction. But Knights, as you mentioned, especially in a high base damage unit, they're probably the clearest example of a unit that will feel the pain.
MarineLorD is now pulling ahead when it comes to the archer numbers. 20 archers compared to 13 right now. And I mean, Luciferon, his income is still really solid. He has a lot of knights in the field, but definitely comes down to the amount of archers that he's going to be able to push out. Also, blacksmith upgrades are only just now coming in for him right now. I think he's still only on 2 archer ranges.
He's reactionary as well. It's undermesh because he noticed that MarineLorD already beat him to the aggressive version. So, cool little play, but it means MarineLorD now remains 1 step ahead. It's going to delay Luciferon's timing, and you feel like you're on the clock, right? It's 3 TC versus 2. There's going to become a point where the Abbasses are really going to start to swell. And I think we are starting to see that.
Yeah, it also is at this point where the fresh foodstuffs technology definitely makes an impact with the amount of food that you're able to invest into units instead of into villagers. And MarineLorD behind this also further scaling his production. So more and more production buildings coming out from him right now. Golden Age Tier 2 also coming out. All the research now coming in a little bit faster, and Phalanx getting research. This is a crucial technology to get before any fight here against a civilization like the Ruse with their mass knights. But it looks like a fight is about to happen here, as all the militia have been called from Luciferon here. He definitely wants to take a big fight here.
He has to, right? Because if you wait any longer, you know what's on the horizon. If this reaches Castle Age, I don't think Ruse get the bigger boost here. You're going to be up against composite bows. Boot camp should already be in the mixer. It's kind of a do-or-die moment for him. He sees an opportunity while his opponent's on the berries. He needs to take it. But it's going to take time. Even though the Gremlins move fast, they still have to cross the map here. He needs to probe for the fight, try to reel MarineLorD out a little bit. But this choke point is actually now favoring MarineLorD with the mass archers.
And the spears with the Phalanx, it's so hard to engage with them. Now the Gremlins are going to be coming in. And that could be the crucial meat shield that Lucifer might need here in order to win this fight. Gremlins are going to be moving in. No support yet, though, from the main army.
No, that's
going to be... Yeah,
MarineLorD just peels back, right? Like, this is so smart from MarineLorD. It's calculated like the last game. He's waiting for that moment. Last game involved Gremlins as well, if you remember. It's similar here. He was waiting for this all-in feel, and Luciferon has been forced to commit because of that heavy investment. If he doesn't win a fight here, you feel like you're a mile behind, and he needs some serious damage done.
Yeah, MarineLorD behind us. He has double the archer numbers right now with bootcamp. It's so hard to take down these archers. Now Luciferon, he has a ton of knights, but the knights, it's so hard for them to engage onto the army here from MarineLorD.
And it's the type of moment where, like, Luciferon, like, if there's another game behind this, it's like one more try and then GG. But obviously, this is match point. You stick with it longer. But you definitely feel the victory slipping away from you. Look at the military pop count. Look at the eco now beginning to escalate. You already mentioned fresh food stuff. That's giving more food for MarineLorD to utilize. He's then got that gathering buff through the Golden Age that is mitigating some of the value that the Ruse get on the wood side. A wood side that I don't really feel like Luciferon can leverage that much. If you look at his comp, the Knights are more important here.
Yeah, now MarineLorD also using this little bit of breathing room that he's got now after that first fight. He knows that he's in a great position right now, mixing some horsemen just to raid onto the economy from Luciferon. Luciferon did feel like he had the map control, and he definitely did have the map control out on the map, gathering resources, but that's kind of slipping from his fingers right now, as these horsemen are going to be roaming around on the map.
And he doesn't want to leave the archers undefended, right? Because they're so outnumbered. So these knights, they don't even feel like they can peel off to defend. And do you ever want to be defending with knights, right? It's the worst feeling in the world. Even French players will add in racks with spearmen to fulfill that role if need be. But charge comes in. It's the ram commitment. Like, this is do or die. LucifroN and Vortex is a signature move. When they feel it needs to happen, they'll full-on commit into those rams. But if this does fail, he'll know he's going to be a world and a half behind.
60 archers out now for MarineLorD. He's reached that critical mass where the archers are actually going to be able to deal so much damage to the knights as well. They're going to be able to focus down the knights, and just 2 volleys and the knight's going to be going down.
These rams were worthless. They can't even go in. He's going to lose them now. One of them's definitely going to fall. Second one might even follow. The horsemen are still looming on the left side of the map, always threatening Luciferon's attempt to pocket eco. That just puts him more into this kind of death spiral of having to potentially invest into farms where he needs to find the mid-map resources.
It's also so tough to take these spearmen down
Charge
the
in.
boot camp. You can really feel it. And now
It's insane.
the race happened and so many knights just went down there. 5 knights in the blink of an eye lost for Luciferon.
And look at the archer mass, it just keeps escalating. Sure, you lose spearmen. If you trade 2 spearmen for a knight, you're actually happy as MarineLorD, right? It costs 3 spears to get 1 knight. And with the production rate advantage MarineLorD has here, you feel like you're just flopping. Farms are also now coming in, so MLord doesn't have to worry about that. He's about to reach population cap at 16.5 minutes.
Yeah, just so many units out on the field. 71 archers right now. At this point, he can definitely 2-shot knights. And, I mean, right now, if you're in Luciferon's position, what do? It feels like Castle Age is your only choice right now. You know that you can't win right now in a straight engagement. You need an age up. You need tech advantage in order to deal with this. You can't keep up with the mass, and it's going to be the Abbey of the Trinity here for him.
This could kill him. This could, if MarineLorD gets a whiff and starts moving out, because now he's just passively moving towards his own tech up.
He's whipping.
Yeah.
He's definitely whiffing this one.
He's whipping, he's nay-naying, he's on the way. He's going to lead his way right into the Berry Bush Massacre.
Oh, villagers about to get sniped.
That's like 8
there.
going
Does pull
down.
them back.
Moves them away in time. Ram has to retreat. Who cares about that, though? The TC is what I'm more worried about. Like, if MarineLorD wanted, he could commit. Instead, he's going to remain in control. Culture Wing is on the way.
Behind this, MarineLorD is
That peel
also
off.
already in Tier 2 Golden Age, so
Yeah, but
Culture Wing, as
Luciferon's...
soon as that comes in,
Is he going? I think he's
has
going.
to. He got Boy's Fortitude. He's getting the veterancy right now. He can potentially get some villager kills here. I feel like if he gets a surround right now with the rest of his military, but he's not going for that right now.
No.
He needs to definitely find a timing here with the tech advantage.
But he just feels like if he commits, if he's just out of sync for a second, he could lose it all. He hesitates and backs away. He sent in 2 or 3 knights to cause anarchy. But the mass retreat. MarineLorD gets the space required. Tech up now just a minute away. And I cannot emphasize enough how big this tech up's going to be. The archer mass will sting because composite bows will be on the horizon.
Exactly. Now the Knights can find a little bit of damage here, but behind that, as soon as MarineLorD gets up to the next age, he'll immediately have like 2,500 resources to get upgrades with, and that's just so big. At the same time, Boy's Fortitude did complete, so this is the timing now for Luciferon. He needs to take a fight right now, and MarineLorD doesn't want to take the fight immediately, since he is waiting for his own upgrades to come in. But Luciferon definitely needs to force this one. It's going to be the best engagement that he's going to get in this game.
MarineLorD has to commit all the spears if he wants a chance to defend against this. But the moment he does that, he knows Luciferon won't hesitate. There it is. Spears jump in. Archers just try to take the time to retreat further. Knights just trying to clamber on top of him. But even with the armor upgrades, 70 archers still stinks. Feels like 3 flurries and you're dead. Villagers are going to retreat. Has to stand his ground somewhere. Culture Wing is complete. Spears coming out to backstab here. Should be able to clean up most of the Knights. It definitely hurts MarineLorD, but it will not outright kill him.
Yeah, exactly, but still. The upgrades are still quite a bit away right now. Roughly 50 seconds remaining here on the timer that Luciferon has. Archers are running in further
Follow
and further.
me. Let's head over to the farm area. I think that's what you're looking for, Luciferon.
The hiding game is definitely on point here right now for MarineLorD. I mean, you call him the MarineLorD for a reason, right? And yeah,
Well,
it's still damage
MarineLorD
on
feels
here.
more appropriate because this man looks unstoppable in red. Lost the Knights. Should be
villagers.
cleaned up. This is going to cost him a little bit of the villager count. And Luciferon has built a lead now.
Yeah, he's got a solid eco lead behind that. Luciferon's also getting relics with the Abbey of Trinity, and behind this, he's making Men-at-Arms now as well. Now, Men-at-Arms is a little bit of a risky play because MarineLorD is also investing into Knights right now. He's gonna have to add some crossbows to that as well.
Where did this really go wrong in your eyes? Like MarineLorD, it felt like he was in the full driving seat. Did that kind of waste of time, kind of rearing in and then forcing back from Luciferon, the way he bought some of the Knights, was that the key moment where Luciferon put himself back in this game?
I'm not sure if he's back quite yet because there's still no farm transition complete for Luciferon. He does have a lot of food in the bank, but he is starting to have to struggle a little bit when it comes to accessing food right now out on the map.
It's fair. He does have a lot of extra villagers, right? So in theory, this farm transition should be fairly doable, but he has delayed it thus far, to your point. Problem is, he's ran out of resources, most definitely, unless he wants to take an excursion onto the west side. Wait, were we really doing that in the back of Eugene?
Yeah. He took a steer.
Oh, Luciferon. Now, hear me out. You gather the stone, you drop a key on the high ground.
That would be nice, but he's pulling the villagers away now, actually. I wonder where he's going with them. I really would have liked to see a wooden fortress there.
He's going to lose them, I think. Yeah,
he's making the wooden fortress first. With 8 villagers. Could potentially go up if he has textiles. Probably doesn't. Why do you need it as Ruse anyways? And
just don't die, lol. And this pushback, I mean, this is the moment he was waiting for, right? Like, yes, you whittled down the forces, but Compass Bows is still in. Shivs are out. Should be able to get at least 2 of the villagers before being forced to retreat. Archer mass starting to be cleaned up. But the Knight should be enough to keep Luciferon somewhat steady here. It's definitely going to reduce him next to 0 on the Archer count, though.
Yeah, and the gold actually gets taken here now by Luciferon. He's going to have control over that. And behind that, 3 relics for Luciferon currently. Sacred Sight's also being captured up right now. He's not out. He's actually back into this game. Farm transition has also been done here, it feels like. Or at least he's got a stable food income right now. He just needs to keep massing units, and he is massing them right now. He's got 8 more Knights in the queue. And with Boyer's Fortitude, they are actually going to be able to deal quite well, even with the composite bows for these archers.
And he's still in the berries, right? He's stripping away. He knows MarineLorD had those farms, yes, but obviously the berries are definitely desirable here. And of course, we have to remember, MarineLorD, in all that mess, he did lose the 3rd TC, right? He's down to 2 TCs. Lucy should be able to keep this lead he's built now because it's 2-on-2.
Yeah, and with all the relics, all the Sacred Side that he has, he's got a really good passive income for him going right now. So currently sitting at 600 gold passively just from relics and Sacred Sites. That's pretty good, not to count in all the hunting cabins that he has throughout the map. And now he's going for some Siege, and Siege definitely the right call here to go for. Now he's going to have to be wary, though, of all the raids that MarineLorD is going to be able to pull out with the Knights that he has access to now. MarineLorD actually struggling for gold right now, big time.
Absolutely. Like, he needs to address that on the left side, but the issue he has, right, is like he's gone mass ranged. He actually doesn't have a good way of dealing with buildings right now.
Yeah, he's made a ram, so probably going to try and take that down with the ram. Now, there's still a couple of villagers. If Lucy notices that in time, could just burn that ram down quickly with the villagers, unless MarineLorD pulled some additional units here to get rid of the villagers.
Well, he discovered the hunting cabin.
Oh, so many knights villagers died there. It doesn't go up.
Luciferon?
We're remaining on that.
He hasn't noticed the ram either. He's playing a lot of pocket eco still. I don't think he started that farm transition still after all this time.
And I think he's
maybe
tunnel visioning a little bit here right now, but right now he's actually not in a bad position. 21 knights, and the most important thing against these archers is that he has warrior monks. And with warrior monks, he's going to further increase the armor of his knights to a point where the archers with 9 damage total won't be able to do more than 1 damage with each shot, and that's going to be crucial here.
Vicious. And MarineLorD's still so reliant on those archers, right? Like, he's at least layering in horsemen now, not the worst of ideas, but it still means the knights can reign supreme. Knights, they're on the way right now. Archers looking to back up a little bit here. There's just no front line. MarineLorD, I mean, it's the full range strategy. He bought into what you were saying, Crackedy. Much easier to win with range units. Mango.
Warrior Monk in there as well. Didn't get the blessing off yet. Oh, that's a good mango shot on a lot of the archers here. Also, most of the archers in melee range now of that mangonel, minimum range. And now the attack on the economy. This is huge. This is really huge for Luciferon. This is a way to potentially finish off the game.
Going to keep chasing as well. Has to move those choke points. So Knight's not able to flesh out and get maximum value. But notice that Luciferon stops here. He's choked another chunk of the base away from MarineLorD. He knows if he dives past this, he'll probably lose the army. He can just reset, wait for reinforcements, and then plow through to just strike at the jugular.
Yeah, for a good while, these Knights were also blessed with the Saint's Blessing from the Warrior Monks. And it really made a big difference. I saw that the villagers, the archers, they got a volley off on them. Barely tickled the Knights after that.
Spearman on the way. This is where Luciferon needs to be a little bit delicate about this. He's not raiding eco right now. He's diving into multiple racks as those spearmen just pumping out will butcher him.
He does have archers, he does have crossbows, so does have ways to deal with them. He's gonna have to be careful though. Whenever they pop out, he will have to manually focus them down. Spriggles are getting sacrificed here, potentially.
Come get him while they're hot. He can't finish it off though. He's focused on them. Gets back in, gets one, looking for the second. Knights confused though. Oh my god, they're not going to get it. The Mangonel's a freebie though. That is definitely going down, and that's pricey.
Yeah. Did get a good shot though on the archers and the crossbows, but most of the archers seem to be getting cleaned up right now for MarineLorD, and MarineLorD calls it! Luciferon takes a game here, and now, is this potentially the beginning of the reverse sweep? This was actually such a close game here, because MarineLorD, he looked like he was in the driver's seat, but then Luciferon takes a big fight with the with the tech advantage, and manages to turn it all around in the blink of an eye.
He will not go dark, go silently rather, into that dark night. We thought we were going to be saying goodnight to a certain someone, but Luciferon, he says time to go all night. What a great time to turn around. Definitely does it with the dominant Civ, right? Like we would expect him, Ruse, to turn up. That's definitely a Civ that Luciferon knows inside and out. But as you said, the first half of this game, I mean, it looked like MarineLorD was buckled in to the driving seat. Not just buckled in fact. It was like super glue was sticking him to it, that he was immovable. But Luciferon, remarkably well done in that mid-game to buy critical time while he waited for the tech ups to come out ahead. Great identification there. It makes you wonder, if MarineLorD went for like a base trade, would that have worked better for him? But we don't do ifs, buts, and maybes here. What we do is definitives, and what I can say right now is Luciferon has changed that 0 to a real number. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally have a series.
Exactly, and man, what a game this